Team Empire's turn to ban.
They've got the stomp. They've got the battery assault from the clockwork, which is really nice in terms of stopping people moving and then slowing them down and interrupting spells as well. So a couple of options for them as well.
Yeah, I really like the Void ban from Fly to Moon. That is really going to help with their lack of lockdown. That would have really helped with Empire's lack of lockdown. And with this AA Ice Blast coming out over the top, it really gives them some good team fight potential. The lack of lockdown, I meant, was kind of before the level 6. So between these two supports, they're kind of reliant on this raw damage in the laning phase for getting kills, not really on the lockdown that we usually see, where maybe like even the Shadow Demon last game followed up by the Lesh stun as well. And again, and I like the SF ban from Empire.
Doesn't Void only have lockdown at level 6 as well?
That's very true. But at the same time, you know, the Void AA, pretty big. And yeah, the SF ban from Empire, very good with the clock. You do that really stupid thing where you get the souls off the cogs at the start of the game. Why is that still in the game, Ice Frog? I'm not sure. And then the Lesh...
It's okay. It's okay.
And then the Lesh ban from Fly to Moon, obviously very good at negating the Leshrax's damage. And the Luna ban from Empire, obviously Fly to Moon playing that really well last game.
Well, it comes out an Earth Spirit from Empire, so you know, a bit of mobility, a bit of ganking potential, and a couple of rocks going to be flying around on the side of Fly to Moon. What does this do to their draft?
It shows that the Pangolier is going to be moved to position 3 now. Empire have been known to run it in the position 3 and 4. I assumed they were going to run it as position 4, unfortunately on the wrong side. I like that they pick up some kind of hero that allows them to make up for that lack of lockdown between the opening 2 heroes. They've got the stun, the silence coming through, the big AoE. I kind of don't really like Earth Spirit too much as a hero at the moment. I feel like the meta's been shifting more to each of these kinds of heroes that don't kind of really rely on rolling around and roaming around, and getting kills. It feels like we're getting to more towards the position 4s that can really help in terms of dual lanes. We've seen more of the Night Stalkers, even the Leshrax as well, you know, Sand Kings, things like that that can really help in the laning stage. And Earth Spirit's a pretty greedy position 4 at the start of the game, but it does, you know, come well into that mid game with the stun and the silence and all the utility coming.
Well, Fly to Moon gonna go with the Venge right now. So again, very versatile in their draft right now. They've got this Leshrac, they've got the Venge. Who knows where they're gonna lane? You know, the Leshrac can go mid, he can go 4, Venge can go 5, he can go 1. You know, they've got a lot of options right now, and I don't think this is gonna be an easy draft for Empire to draft into.
Yeah, especially if it's the Venge position 5, which we've been seeing more of. It just gives you that save, which is so important at this point in the game, especially with all this burst damage coming out from the Ancient Apparition, the Pangolier. They try and get on top of someone, the Venge can just swap them out, and it's relatively safe. The thing I would say, if they do play the Venge as a 5, it's not very good at zoning out at the start of the game. Pangolier is not one of those offlaners that can kind of trade hits very well. It only has about 50 base damage, I think it is, so Venge is going to be happy with that. There you go, and there's another hero that makes up for the lack of lockdown. And I look at this Empire draft at the moment, and although they do have some good heroes, I really worry that they kind of have a lack of damage there between those 4. They have some nice magic damage, but where's their physical damage coming from? In their 5th pick, they really need something that makes up for the lack of damage there, and kind of like that kind of super ultra hard carry in the late game.
Well, so what are we expecting? What kind of heroes can make up for that? Maybe a PL or something a little bit more even hard carry than that?
A PL, a Gyro, maybe even we've seen a DOTA ban this tournament already. Though they're probably going to reveal whether the Lesh or the Venge is going to be a core. I think it's most likely going to be a clock 4. We've been seeing a lot, we've not been seeing a lot of, but we've been seeing some clock position 3s. I know General likes to play it for Na'Vi. I feel like the clock as a position 3 kind of falls off really hard. But they do have the Lesh if it's a position 4, can make up for that lack of farm on the clock and go in terms of going towards the game. See what they go for here though. I think they're probably going to pick their carry. The Life Stealer was banned out by them, which I think would have been quite nice.
I mean, they know the mid matchups, so they might just be tempted to pick up, you know, maybe a TA not looking quite so likely, but I wouldn't be surprised if Fly to Moon want to call it, to be honest. Wouldn't be surprised if they brought out the TA.
Gyrocopter's still in the pool as well.
Oh, here we go, pilling out the Wind Ranger.
This is fun. I'm excited now.
Alright, so a bit of changes going on to that hero. One of the most important ones, of course, being the power shot damage is increased by 100 at max level. So that hits pretty hard. And then you've got a talent which increased it by 100 damage, I think, as well. So
oh, it wasn't increased by 100. The talent increases it by 100. I think it was just a small amount on the power shot.
oh, was it?
Not quite too sure, but again, it kind of, it's really good because it allows them to initiate on heroes like the Puck, who are really difficult to bring down by these like really bad animation stuns, such as from the Venge and the Lesh. They really need something instant that can bring down the Puck straight away. Normally we see something like an Earth Spirit with the silence as just a good way of locking down the Puck in the early game. And Wind Ranger's, although it's not a great matchup against the Puck, they kind of just trade farm. There's not really much kill potential because of the Wind Run on one side, the phase shift on the Orb on the other side. And I'll be interested to see, I imagine it's going to be an Iceberg Wind Ranger anyway, what kind of skill build he goes for. Because the other day we saw Dendy go max out the Wind Run first, which was really interesting to me. And maybe Iceberg goes for something similar, or maybe goes for something more aggressive, you know, more points in the power shot, more points in the shackle shot for the lockdown.
Well, is that Luna banned out by Team Empire, not wanting to come up against that carry, but Puck versus Wind Ranger at mid, how does this one generally go down?
I just think they trade farm, honestly. I don't think, like we said, there's no kill potential. And maybe if they get a rotation in against the Wind Ranger, they might be able to kill her. But it's really difficult for the Earth Spirit because of the Wind Run. You kind of need that level 3 because the roll-in isn't going to do anything if the Wind Ranger just pops the Wind Run afterwards. And now I think the Earth Spirit might have to try and commit to a side lane instead, which is really rubbish because Earth Spirit really wants to be kind of roaming around, doing as much as he can to help all the lanes. And I just don't see how he's going to be able to kill the Wind Ranger this game until the Puck gets level 6.
Right, we'll see how that one goes for them. You know, the silence can be pretty big in stopping her getting off that Wind Run, I think. So there's a possibility with the dual silences to lock her down long enough to get those hits off to kill her, I think. But we'll see. We'll see. Only the game will tell us that.
I like that Fly to Moon ban out the Morph as well. That's another example of one of these really hard carries that they needed to try and give themselves the damage. Fly to Moon here, they've got 20 seconds left. I imagine they're probably going to be looking for a position 1. Now that I think about it, I think they're going to play the Clock as the 3 and the Lesh as the 4 and kind of let that Lesh scale forward. Yeah, and there's the Gyro that was still in the pool. I thought they would have picked it up as their 4, but they pick it up as their 5 instead.
Oh, wow. Wow, wow. Okay. So Empire pick a hero which is dead.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I'm really worried because I feel like there's a lot of, there's going to be a lot on the Puck's shoulders this game in terms of being able to control the tempo for the Spectre to have that space to farm. I really don't like this Spectre pick, especially with these really good aggressive heroes that Fly to Moon have in the Wind Ranger. The Gyro's not going to be afraid to fight early, is he? So Spectre's going to be in a bit of trouble. Empire really needs to try and drag this game out and let Spectre become an absolute monster. Otherwise, they're in serious trouble of getting run over in this early game, I feel like.
Spectre, Wind Ranger. These are interesting drafts coming out from these two teams in the final match of this best of 3 series. Who's going to take it? I mean, your prediction, I can probably guess.
I'm going to go with Fly to Moon. I'm pretty confident here.
Alrighty. Me myself, I'm going to go Fly to Moon as well. I can see the Wind Ranger this game and seen it much, but we just know from experience, from playing games and from, you know, just the general meta right now is just Spectre's not very good, but we'll see how it works out for them. I'm sure Empire have a plan, and I'm sure Fly to Moon will, well, obviously have a plan of their own and who comes out on top.
If they do get to this late game situation on the Spectre, there's not a huge amount of burst damage on the side of the Radiant. They do have this Lesh and the Gyro, and obviously the Wind Ranger will obviously have some good damage at that point. But you know, Spectre's a tanky beast. If he gets his items, he's pretty huge. And yeah, this is a great ward by Miposhka. I think I talked about this in game 1 when always want to fly, put a ward down from up there. But it means that if the enemy do put their ward down first in the mid lane, they're not going to see that one at all. And yeah, that's a really good play by Empire.
Oh, bottom lane Silent, pitching up for this lane, getting his tent down, and it's going to be Silent probably versus the Pangolier down here in this bottom lane as Ghost Stick sets up with the Earth Spirit, and it's going to be a fair amount of harass onto Silent. I'm actually interested to see how he does in this lane. Meanwhile, up at top, we got No Fear on the left track, and he's going to be kind of supporting the Clockwork here.
Yeah, and so it is Clockwork position 3, but like we've seen this from a few teams. I think Fly to Moon might have been one of them where they play this kind of like roaming clock or the position 3 clock, and the Lesh really takes over the farm position of the clock and really allows him to get these late game items, and the clock can make so much space for him.
Silent take a lot of damage here as Miposhka gets to roll in. Ghost Stick is here as well. Silent, well, that Orb of Venom runs off, and now he is very fast, so he will get away.
He has to use the tango straight away, and with the branch as well, that's going to help his healing a little bit, but it doesn't look like he's getting too much help at the moment, especially with Venge in this mid lane looking to try and snipe the curve.
There's a hog block from Non Grata. Going to bring the creep aggro back to their side a bit. And a block coming out from Spectre as well.
Yeah, when the patch did drop, I assumed that Clock was going to be a more popular hero because there's not many heroes that can affect this off-lane pull, especially with you not being able to pull the creep waves right at the start of the game anymore. Venge might get the courier here in the mid lane. It is walking towards her.
Yeah. Waiting for it. He's waiting for it. She sees it.
Okay,
Gonna wait for it on the way back, I guess.
Yeah, and in the meantime, this is affecting Silence Farm on the gyro, so this is really important that the Venge finishes off the courier here.
Yep. Into lane, but immediately spotted out. Good eyes from the side of Empire, and that courier just gonna sit under tower for a while.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. Empire knows, Poshka knows he can't really hurt this Wind Ranger, so he's just going to babysit Spectre with the AA, really try and make sure they get the farm on her.
Well, Poshka goes for a roll, doesn't land. Will find No Fear in the trees. Split Earth used, as No Fear just wants to get past more than anything. Command on Grata takes a few hits from Yoki, but it's quite a quiet lane up here so far, as Naive just trying to farm as best he can on that Spectre.
Yeah, there's no stuns online until the Earth Spirit gets level 2, so it's pretty difficult for them to bring these heroes down.
Split Earth is out, follow it up with the cogs, but it doesn't really matter to Naive, as he can just throw down that dagger and go right over those cogs. Yeah, it's pretty difficult for them to kill the Spectre in return, as you just saw. Cogs usually a really good hit, really good spell at being able to keep heroes locked in place, but not this game with the Spectral dagger. They kind of have to focus their... Jump forwards onto Non Grata on the clockwork. Can they finish him off? Yes, they certainly can. That's going to be a first blood going for Team Empire up here in the top lane.
I'm really surprised if we've been able to get that one. I didn't think there was any kill potential between them, but they do have the chilling touch and 3 heroes, so there is a lot of damage coming out that they could use to bring him down.
Yeah, the right clicks get very, very annoying when you have that chilling touch on.
Look at this mid lane though. Wind Ranger and Puck. Oh, all right, well. Fair enough. I mean, that's pretty big. Ninja, I love how, I was going to say Ninja Boogie because he plays Venge so much, but I love that Always Wanna Fly kind of just runs in and gets some XP there at the end.
Sure, why not? Was that a creep that brought down FN, or was it a right click from Ice?
I think it was, oh.
Kicks the wrong way, I think, or meant to kick the boulder and kick the hero?
Yeah, that was pretty unfortunate.
Okay, alright. I think we should look away from this middle lane, because things are getting pretty awkward around here.
But the thing is, at the moment, because the Empire have committed these 3 heroes to the top lane, it feels a bit like this Pango's getting completely sacked. Whereas in the top lane, you know, Clockwork's got a friend with them that they're allowed to pressure the Spectre with. And I feel like Pango's farm is really going to suffer here. And the Fly to Move's 2 cores and the Gyro and the Wind Ranger are both going to have a really good time. They're kind of just going to both get the free farm that they want. And yeah, this damage on the power shot must be really hurting the Puck here.
I think Icebuck's going to go chasing again. Running forwards, does get silenced up, tries to land the arrow, but won't quite manage to get the power shot off.
He's in trouble now.
Icebuck's actually getting blocked, and this could turn around quite quickly as Mposhka's got a lot of damage to get through, but there goes the wind run. And Icebuck going to stay alive for now.
Oh, yeah, he did just get for the wind run, so
FN going to walk in, and Icebuck just trying to cancel that sat off, will go down. So, like that play, turning around to cancel the sat, makes his lane a little bit easier when he comes back to it later on. Yoki's going to drop from the top lane, though, as he does get caught in those cogs with the battery assault and then with the damage from the Leshrac as well. I'm just wondering, is Leshrac actually... No, he's got the lightning, hasn't he? Because we saw him use it on Naive.
As soon as the Earth Spirit rotates away from that top lane, you see Non Grata and No Fear on these, the Clock and the Lesh just bolt forward, because they know that Spectres are much easier to kill now, much easier to pressure.
You know, I'm fully expecting Leshrac to go for points in Edict after the after 1 point in Stomp.
Why is that?
For the cogs. You get them inside the cogs, you pop the Edict, and that's a lot of damage.
Okay, that's true, but at the same time, the AoE on the Split Earth is really nice as well.
Inside the cogs, they're going to get them anyway. I don't know, we'll see what they decide to go for. Ghost Tick is being chased now. He doesn't have any mana left, but he's got a Mango.
Yeah, he's going to be... I think he's going to be fine here, it feels like. Oh, okay, well, didn't use the Mango, but couldn't quite get the swashbuckler off.
That's a shame, and in the top lane, Non Grata is going to go down as well on the Clockwork, as they do get the return kill on Team Empire at top.
Yeah, and you see the wards coming out from Empire now. They go and put the ward in the Radiant Jungle so they can see the Venge rotating towards the mid lane, and then they see the They see the iceberg around this mid lane as well, so Puck can try and trade last hits a little bit better. Yeah, and they just put that ward in the top lane as well. Going to see the clock on the Lesh and where they're rotating when they try and kill the Spectre. I like these wards.
Grata trying to chase down Naive. Will get him inside of those cogs, and then with a split up, there's more damage to finish him off. Throwing non-Grata out just to get those what's it called, battery assault away from him.
Yeah, that was Earthspirit's done a questionable couple of boulder smashes this game, hasn't he? It feels like. I think he tried to kick him under the tower, but just got the angle wrong a little bit there. And
meanwhile, Ghosted goes down the bottom lane, too silent on the gyrocopter, but up at top, the Poshka's rotating in.
Yeah, that's really bad for Ghostic as well, because he's died twice now, doesn't have the TP, has to walk all the way to bot lane again, and Gyrocopter, silent on the Gyrocopters here, is having an amazing time. Almost 30 CS, 18 denies. He's going to be pushing the wave up really soon and using that big camp. I think they've got a stack down there to his advantage.
And 2 kills as well, don't forget.
Yep, but in this top lane, yeah, Earthspirit has come back, and they really want to try and secure the Spectre's farm, but at the moment he's getting pressured so hard, and now that the Lesh is level 3, the Lightning Storm just does even more damage, and it puts more pressure on top of him.
Very difficult lane for Empire to keep control of, especially when they need to be looking around the map as well for their Puck in the middle lane. Iceberg is able to be, well, he's actually doing really well versus Puck at mid, and Maposhka will fire a bit of harass. Force a rotation from No Fear as well.
Yeah, he isn't maxing the win run first, like we saw from Dender yesterday, who was against the Lina. I think this matchup, you just want the nuke damage to be able to, when it gets to this mid game, you really just want to be able to increase the pressure on the Spectre and keep this damage output going.
Well, Maposhka, No Fear, having a bit of fun with one another, but Grata's coming in. Maposhka will need to leave. Beautiful split Earth onto the Earth Spirit, and he's got absolutely no mana to do anything here, so I'm fairly sure he's just going to be run away. Power Shot's going to a little bit. And he tries to get to the side on Grata, but actually ends up at the tower, so he's just going to die to that. Nope, Iceberg gets the last hit. What's Iceberg put levels into? I think it's a win run, because that power shot didn't really do much.
He put 3 points into the power shot, 2 points into the win run. I think he is maxing that power shot out first.
Okay then.
So, Leshrac, Clock return back to the top lane. Yeah, there you go. He's put the 4th point in the power shot as well. So Leshrac and Clock back into this top lane. They really don't want to make sure the Spectre has any chance to get complete free farm. He's actually doing pretty well though on the Spectre on Naive. He's got this 38 CS. He has had 2 like babysitting heroes here. It feels like for quite a lot of the game so far, but even so, I feel like he's doing a really good job. This is the weakest point in the game for the Spectre. So
yeah, things are going not easily in the top lane, but not horribly either. Roll forwards onto non-Grata here. This is a lot of damage, especially with that chilling touch. Order will smash through him, but now the split Earth, beautifully done from No Fear. Might keep the Clockwork alive a little bit longer, but Naive will finish him off with that right click. Meanwhile, Iceberg going for the greedy one-man shrine.
Yeah, this chilling
He's shrining alone.
This chilling touch in tri-lanes just is so much more effective, because when you use it on 3 heroes, the damage that comes out is absolutely crazy. Yeah, the Lesh does put the 2nd point in the split Earth. I'm sorry to crumble your theory.
Well, you know, he's going to suffer for it, not me.
Maposhka's going for the roll.
Oh, he's going for the snipe, and will be successful. Maposhka.
That was blind as well. They didn't even have vision on the hill, so pretty impressive from him.
Let's go.
Oh, Iceberg comes in though.
Rock thrown his way, and Maposhka trying to juke around the tree line. It lands the creep of all things, and will be finished off by right clicks, I imagine.
Yep. Yeah, he almost got the roll out there because of the stick, but non-Grata does just finish it off. And yeah, look at the CS on silent now because of that big camp stack.
64 CS on the gyrocopter at 8 minutes 40. I mean, doing pretty well. Meanwhile, FN drops in the middle lane.
Oh, this is really bad for the Puck, because he needs to be the one controlling the tempo for Empire really badly. And if you look at the net worth at the moment, Iceberg's just, it feels like he's dominated, and I like to see this. He's going for the Maelstrom first on Iceberg. You know, when these patch notes came out, I felt like the Maelstrom change screamed out, please make win range irrelevant again.
Yeah, it really did. It's an item she likes to build, and that Javelin is a really nice item to have early on for her extra damage with that Focus Fire. So all the stars kind of align with that item and just make it kind of the perfect Windrunner item.
Yeah, and now look, this is what I mean. Silent gets the drums. He's going to go and fight. Like, Spectre can't fight at this point in time, so I'm hoping Naive kind of TPs to this bot lane here. He can't fight the Gyro at the moment in time, so just let him do his thing. Let them take your tier 1 if you have to.
If he realizes something's even wrong.
problem here. There is going to be the lightning storm as well, and they've got always want to fly.
Well, the AA reveals now. Silent will be able to bring down his AA very quickly. Use the rock onto the knife. They get a split earth as well. Nograda coming in. He's got the cogs available. Doesn't even need them. Silent gets a double kill on the top lane with a very successful early game rotation from that gyrocopter. And look at his net worth, just starting to fly above the other heroes.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't see that, because they did put Ghostic in the Maposhka bot, and they were waiting for quite a while.
Coil used onto the Windrunner, roll in from a Maposhka as well. Do they have the damage to finish off Iceberg? Really doesn't look like they do. As the ult comes flying through, although the Rolling Thunder with the Stomp, but Ghostic will find it. Hunts him down in boulder form. Although, Nograta could be cooked as well. Killing Turtle, he needs to get this right click off, they can't quite do it. He runs into the creeps and denies himself.
So Empire do see that neutral stack now though, but I think with big rotation from Empire, they do get Iceberg, but he's not the big hero for them to worry about at the moment. And Fly to Moon do get this tier 1 tower top as well, which is, when they get this tier 1 tower mid, Fly to Moon, I feel like it's going to make it really difficult for the Spectre to find somewhere to farm. You know, when that tier 1 top tower goes down, when the tier 1 mid tower goes down, it makes the dire top jungle very unsafe place to farm, because there's lots of different angles that Fly to Moon can come from to gank you.
Uh-oh. Left track. He goes down and bottom.
Yeah, but it's a 3-man rotation again, but this is exactly what Empire need to do. Take the focus away from the Spectre, just fight around other lanes, because they are really strong. They do have good spells at the moment. They've got the Rolling Thunder, they've got the Dream Coil, got the Earth Spirit spells. Just try and make space for him as much as you can. Don't be worried that this gyrocopter's strong.
Well, Spectre now has that ultimate. I mean, it's a pretty weak ultimate this early on, all things considered, really. We're expecting Earn into Radiance this game?
Possibly. He might even stop off for something like a Vanguard on the way. It's really good against the Wind Ranger, obviously against the focus
That damage
fire.
block does come in really useful.
And it's pretty good against the gyrocopter as well. Might even look to build a Crimson Guard later on against all this flat cannon damage coming out.
I think we're not really expecting the Desolator, the Diffusal Blade build.
He could do. It depends if he wants to go for the really greedy build in the Radiance, but I actually quite prefer the fighting build this game. I think if he goes for the really greedy build, it's a very high risk but a very high reward situation, and I feel like the risk is just going to outweigh the reward, where the gyrocopter will just kind of run over them.
Roll in onto Silent, pushing him back. Do they have the damage from Nograda though? Maposhka stuck inside the hogs and can't really find a way out of this one. We'll just pop max time before he gets down, but goes down all the same. Meanwhile, always want to fly against the swap off onto Ghost, which actually interrupts the swashbuckle. And Silent is on a mega kill streak as Fly to Moon take a pretty wonderful flight under their tower.
Yeah, they just don't have the damage coming up. The Rolling Thunder was nice. Oh, Nograta though gets Dream called up.
I'm just gonna have to sit here and die.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate.
He gets a kill somehow.
Again, Silent survives. This is still the right play from Empire though. Just take all the emphasis away from the Spectre. Iceberg needs to get this Maelstrom online and basically just try and pick off the Spectre over and over and over again, because the Spectre's the main hero for Empire. It can kind of just not do very much the rest of them in the late game situation anyway.
And Silent is just getting so far ahead this game. I mean, his farming capabilities are already much higher than the Spectres. Give him a pretty much free lane on top of that, and you're going to have some issues in this gyrocopter. I just hope that Empire have the plan to take them down in this early and mid game situation.
It looks like he is going for the Aghanims on the gyrocopter as well. So where we saw the drums BKB last game, the gyrocopter's kind of. I am surprised, because I thought he'd go for something more stat heavy to pressure the Spectre, but the Aghanims is still pretty good.
I'm choosing not to stat paddle instead. I mean, well, it still gives you some stats, but just not so many of the stats you want.
They saw Naive get
hook shot. Nice job. Gets him inside the cogs. Escape it with that split earth. They can't quite get out, and Naive will fall with a barrage of pings coming down his head.
What a hook shot from Nograta though. They did have the flare vision, but it was still a few seconds afterwards before we threw the hook shot, so great job by him.
Now they're trying to find Maposhka as well as he runs into the trees, and Split Earth does land, and Maposhka in no man's land gets taken down.
I'm so happy to see No Fear on the Lesh this game. He's doing an absolutely amazing job so far, landing all the Split Earths. Obviously there is the cogs to help him, especially in the laning stage, but he's showing that he doesn't need them. He's landing them anyway.
Him and Yapsol, there's some fantastic Lesh players in this tournament.
Yeah, and this is almost the Wind Ranger getting the Maelstrom online, only a couple of hundred gold away now. And when that comes out, yeah, like I said, I really want them to put the pressure on, because their cores are so much stronger than the cores of Empire at this point in the game.
Oh, Invis up on Iceberg, looking for the puck here in the middle lane, and what a beautiful shackle from the creep onto FN here, and using that movement as she goes around, and will be able to finish off that puck.
He did drop the Dream Coil on Iceberg though, so he might.
Oh, Iceberg needs to be careful. Nope, will take the AA blast to the face. Ghost Stick coming in though, trying to get some damage done. Not really sure what else he can do here as Fly to Moon chased back the Pangolier. Pokeshka waiting in the trees as well.
I think by the looks of it, Ghost Stick on this Pangolier, I think he's gone for a Javelin, I would imagine. Not quite sure. Yeah, there you go. So he went for the Javelin Rush before the boots, goes for the boots afterwards, and then now goes for the Arcanes because this Swashbuckle was doing quite a lot of damage.
Oh, Nongrata actually sees Pokeshka in the tree line. Pokeshka takes damage from the flares, knows something is wrong. And we'll be able to get back, it looks like.
This is fine though.
Arc TPing though under the flare vision, but where else was there to TP if you want to see the tower there? Shut, unfortunately. Sparkle coming forwards. Nongrata just throws out that hook to help himself get past using the stun. The ultimate used from Spectra here. She jumps in under the tower and then just pops out Earth Charge and gets out, and the AA Blast will snipe down Nongrata.
A great play by them. That's an interaction we haven't talked about yet with the AA and the Spectre. It's that global potential that we're seeing a lot more from a lot of teams at the moment. They just profit, AA. We joked about the Spectre the other day, actually, about someone might pick it up, but Empire were like, yeah, hell yeah, why not?
Sounds like a good idea, yeah, let's do it.
This mid lane still getting pressure from Fly to Moon. They're putting so much emphasis on this mid tier 1 so that they can try and open up the map a bit more. And there's the Maelstrom. Does have the region on the Wind Ranger. It used to be 4. That was ridiculous. I hated that on Wind Ranger at level 10. Man, it's so stupid.
You literally didn't run out of mana. Yeah, I remember those days.
With how mana region...
Coil used the Iceberg here. Does Iceberg want to pop this Coil? Well, he's going to try and bring around it there for a bit. The stun lands, although Pokeshka could be turning it around. I always want to fly. Both of them are going to drop here. No, yep, never mind. Pokeshka just done.
The Venge Death Spirit manages to finish off the Pokeshka there.
Oh, I see. I was wondering what the last tick was there. As Nongrata trying to get a bit of damage on.
Silent goes down in the bot lane as well.
That's pretty big. Nongrata trying to run away here. Doesn't land the hook shot and will die in return.
How are Empire taking these fights? I look at their team and I just have no idea how they're managing this. What a boulder smash by Pokeshka though. Getting the Venge TPing in so he can't swap the Wind Ranger out and the Wind Ranger for the damage as well. That was what a play by him.
Very impressive stuff from Empire in these early game fights, but can they keep up the pressure? Can they make the space for their Spectre? I'm starting to wonder.
Spectre seems doing a decent job though of just avoiding all the ganks, and Empire as a whole, Ghost Stick doesn't have a lot of farm on this Pangolier, but it really doesn't matter that much. And here's the risk-reward factor. Naive is going for the Radiance. He's got the Urn online.
Gloves off, let's do it. Meanwhile, Iceberg just running around, hitting that tower, jumping from side to side, trying to dodge any potential rocks coming in. And that Maelstrom will help her clear out creep waves quite quickly. I'm wondering what the next stop's going to be. Is it going to be straight into an Ags?
Possibly might go for the Pink first as well. A really good initiation against the Spectre, which they only really kind of have the hook shot at the moment. Maybe an aggressive swap, but you really want to kind of save the swap for the defensive purposes, I feel like, this game. Yeah, I feel like now that Iceberg has the Maelstrom, they have to try and get on top of this Naive Spectre somehow, because he is farming away, and when he gets that Radiance online, he's going to be so much more difficult to deal with.
Probably look at this Gyro though, he's 2k gold above him.
Guess? Empire just need to get to the late game at this point, and they're doing a good job of it so far. They just have to make sure they keep doing these really good fights that they're doing so far.
Well, we'll see how it goes down for them as Silent starts this push on the bottom lane. With his drums and heading towards that Agnins. In fact, actually just about arrived. So Agnins is up on Silent. His farm potential is improved quite a lot, and just about in general his right click output is quite considerably more. Ghost Stick running forwards here. We'll use that shield crash aggressively and now back off. Zoning shield crash, I think. If ever I've seen one.
Yeah, just keeping everybody back for a little while, just securing a little bit more farm time for the Spectre. They just need to make sure they get this Radiance online before they look to take another massive fight now, because although Spectre's not going to be massively tanky when he gets the Radiance, he can kind of pop it and really surprise everybody, I feel like, at that point in the game. Especially these really weak supports like the Venge. They're in quite a lot of trouble against the Radiance.
Yeah, by pop it, I assume you mean the ultimate.
Yeah, the Horde, sorry.
Yeah. Popping the Radiance in that time to fight. Turn on my Radiance.
Yeah, that's pretty big, you know. Whoa. This action stack is really going to help Silent even more. He's having a great time on the Gyrocopter, and with that BKB, I think that's going to be their go time. They can't just give Spectre the freedom the whole game to just farm away.
Yeah, they Fly to Moon have to commit. No fear, could be in trouble up here. Doesn't land the splitter somehow, as Makosha will avoid. And in comes Grado, actually gets a hook shot onto his teammate. But could try to get this one, kicks out the clockwork. Can he get the stun? He can. And now the swap is there as well, sending Makosha back, and they'll find that kill. Meanwhile, FN is able to dodge the stun and get himself out of there.
Yeah. FN's doing a really good job of just being annoying as he can, it feels like, on this puck. He's everywhere.
He's learned from you.
Oh, come on, man. He's just getting involved in all these kills, and if the Wind Ranger doesn't shackle the puck, it's really difficult for them to bring FN down this game, especially now that the phase shift are coming out. They're close to the relic. 400 gold.
Naive is wasting. Lurking in the tree lines. Trying to gauge whether it's safe or not. Meanwhile, the rest of Fly to Moon, they're going to be smoked up. They're going to be looking. They might find Ghostic here. He tries popping up that ulti, but why is there a creep there? Oh,
that's why
I don't think it mattered, but still.
That's why you don't stack the big camp ever, guys, just in case a Wind Ranger comes through and shackles you to a creep.
Yes, noob supports. Why aren't you stacking creeps? Oh, there's a Wind Ranger in the game. I can't.
Yeah. Too risky.
Too high risk, not high enough reward. Yeah, Yoki's being run down by a homing missile here. Maposhka is in the neighborhood.
Cooldown gave him vision.
A visit.
I think Maposhka's going to be here just to kick. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Silent dodges it.
Yeah, they did.
A bit of bullet time. And there's a hook shot with the... wow, what a nice little symphony of skills there. The power shot comes through at the same time as the hook shot. It just looked pretty.
Oh, Iceberg's actually going for the BKB as well.
Wow, look at this. Iceberg's actually just goes straight on to Spectre and finds a lone tree, but now they're turning it around, and the snap with the swap. I'm not sure that was a play. And what's on Fly is trying to dodge the skill coming out here. Nothing he can do really but make sense. The space.
Yeah, probably doesn't make sense either.
Well, Ghosting will help find that kill with the rolling boulder, which is smashes trees. So, no fear up in the top lane, but what kind of position is the game in right now? I mean, the Gyrocopter's still not really getting involved in any... a little bit of an awkward play, I think, in the mid lane there by the Wind Ranger. Not what we expected to see from her.
Yeah, because the Iceberg didn't have the focus fire on the Wind Ranger, which is what found it so weird that they actually went on top of the Spectre, especially under a tower where there's a free TP point for them to come into. So yeah, Iceberg did fall for that, and it's pretty greedy. Put Spectre in second on the net worth chart, and I think this game's looking decent for Empire so far. They just need to try and ride out this vocal core of BKBs and that duration, I feel.
Wind Ranger's actually going for a BKB of her own, straight away.
It's going okay for Fly to Moon in the sense that they need these BKBs online. They've got their farm coming in, but I feel like this Spectre's going to become a huge problem. If you don't give the Spectre the respect she deserves, she'll punish you.
Well, currently sitting at 9k gold versus the Gyrocopter's 12k, but it is about what these heroes can do. You know, the Gyrocopter, he's always going to find farm, but the Spectre, it's a little bit harder to farm up, but now I think that was the Spectre just about picking up the Radiance, I think?
Yeah,
not just yet.
It might not be just yet, but it's very close if not. And No Fear, can we see what No Fear has on the left Shrek in terms of items? Yeah, so he's actually gone for the 8th lens, now he's going for the Atos as well, which is going to be really useful in terms of...
Yules.
Oh, is it the Yules?
He's got the Yules recipe.
Oh, sorry. I looked at the Bracer and the Staff of Wizardry. I thought it was going to be an Atos. Never mind.
I will forgive you.
Shut me down. Very sad. Because we have been seeing Leshraks go for the Atos so far.
Oh, silence out. They'd love to follow on to both want to fly, and he'll get taken down.
Empire are getting so many pickoffs here, it feels like, just in random places all over the map.
Yeah, very surprising considering their draft. But, you know, just by looking at this on paper, I'm expecting Fly to Moon to be the more aggressive team. And, you know, also by nature as well, Fly to Moon is just generally more aggressive. But, Empire really showing what they can do here. Yeah,
Naive did go down on Spectre there, though, so that's gonna... He did pick up the Radiance, though, so although he goes down, it's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't panic, guys. So Iceberg does have the BKB. I think he really wants to try and take a fight now on Fly to Moon. This is their time to go. Although the Radiance has come out at the same time, you know, that kind of gives Empire a bit more of an advantage in these team fights, even against the BKB. It's kind of going to really hurt the supports, and the Leshraks included too.
And that's Silence BKB up, and that is Iceberg's BKB up, I think. So, yeah, I think Fly to Moon want to go right now. And,
here we go.
Well, Spectre is nearby, but they're going to find the... oh my god, that is a lot of damage onto Yoki.
Oh, the Yules by Leshrak
cancels the roll away on Maposhka, and with the damage coming out from the Disco Pony and from Iceberg, they'll be able to secure themselves a double kill in this jungle, putting on an immense amount of pressure onto Empire right now, taking over the map.
Great play by them, and it kind of shuts out the Spectre's farm area. I'd like to see them get some more aggressive deep wards down. They have got that one in the top dire jungle. They've got the one in the mid lane as well, so when they decide to go for the tier 2, they're going to have some decent amount of vision around there to take the fight. I'd also like to see a ward in the bottom dire jungle, because Spectre's kind of been heading over down towards this bot area a lot of the time, and you want to kind of punish the Spectre wherever she goes and see her at all times.
Do you know why No Fear just dusted a second ago?
Maybe...
Oh, Ghost Sticks Invis, okay.
Right, okay, yeah, so I think he must have seen him pick up an Invis rune or something. I knew he might have thought, well, thought it might have been coming that way. Silent with the axe, kind of takes that tower down a lot quicker than it feels like he should have.
Well, Fly to Moon trying to assert themselves in this game, trying to put some pressure onto the Spectre, but Spectre is trying to farm up, and pretty much that's all she's interested in right now. Team trying to make the space for it, but Fly to Moon are not really trying to letting them move an inch. I'm still interested to see what this Wind Ranger can pull out in the first big team fight, because we haven't really had a big team fight yet, because Empire just aren't interested in it. Yeah,
Empire do spot out that ward there by the Venge as well. They spoke up and put a ward down themselves, so they really want to try and get a pick off here, I think.
It's a game of ganks as they go straight away. Never mind the ultimate used by the Spectre. They will be able to take down Silent right at the start before he's been able to get BKB. Meanwhile, Don Grata going down as well, and always want to fly. So a very convincing team fight so far from Empire. Naive ripping Iceberg apart. Iceberg, he's got nowhere to go. He's going to try and go for the bravest TP, but doesn't escape. 4 heroes dead as Empire. Wow.
Great initiative by Empire as they reveal the blink.
Damage on that Spectre.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it? That's the Radiance damage coming through. And yeah, great blink reveal by Poshka on that Earth Spirit. Just jumps in, stuns the Gyrocopter, and they have so much burst damage to throw out over the top, so he can't even get his BKB off. And all of a sudden, it's 26 minutes into the game. The Spectre looks pretty strong.
She does, yeah. And surprising everybody, turning some heads is the unpicked hero. Seems to be the backbone of this Empire lineup. I mean,
this is why you have to pressure the Spectre, because if you don't,
when she focus fires, she can't stop focus firing right now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this has been fixed yet, but I'm 100% sure that when the change is first introduced, where even if she stops, she can't stop. Oh no, if she stops, I think she can stop focus firing, but then the moment she starts moving again, she's gonna start focus firing. So essentially, if she focus fires the Spectre, she can't stop unless she stops moving. I'm hoping that blade mail will be pretty brutal, so we shall see.
I've got a feeling he might have fixed that, but if it hasn't, that's pretty rough. And yeah, now that the Haunt's down from the Spectre, Fly to the Moon, they just walk into the Roach Pit. Not too far.
Hey, Blast's gonna come through. It's a little bit too late. I'm actually surprised Empire didn't go for something more after they took that team fight. I was kind of expecting to jump into Roche, but their Roche potential is really, really bad.
Yeah, their objective taking in general.
There is a hook shot onto the Poshka. Throw him back with the cogs and finish the job.
Yeah, I was saying, their Roche potential was really bad. Their general tower pushing is really bad as well. When you pick this Spectre as a carry, it's not the usual, like the Lunas and things that we see, where they can just win a fight and push towers. Terrorblade as well. That's kind of one of the main weaknesses of the hero and why it's not picked up too much at the moment.
You see mostly in the meta right now, heroes which can push early, or at least shove waves early, being very popular in the meta. So with that, well, Ghost Stick jumping in, and that is going to be maybe a very quick kill for No Fear's Puck actually. Jump straight in, and the swashbuckle will be enough to finish him off, but now Ghost Stick could be in trouble as well as Fly to Moon hitting him down. On Grata has that battery assault going down, and with the stuns, and they will finish off the Pangolier.
I think he's just going to walk away. He'll be okay.
Blink. Doesn't get hit by the cog somehow.
Yeah, when you're in the phase shift and you blink out, there's I think it's like a 0.25 second time period, I think it is, where you can blink while you're still in the phase shift. So if you do it at the right time, you're completely fine.
That's balanced.
Yeah, Gyrocopter picks up the level 20. No, okay, well.
All right, everybody disconnects from the game.
I'm hoping people can still hear us.
Probably can. I'm assuming this is an issue over at the hotel.
Fingers crossed.
Maybe a power cut? That would be my guess, or something along those lines. I don't know. I'm sure we'll be back very shortly, though. I mean, the game lobby will stay up, I assume, because we have servers in the game. No, competitive lobbies don't shut down anyway. So we will wait for the players to get back online. Not sure what happens here. But Oh, win probability, 75% on the side of Empire right now, so, you know.
I'd say that's pretty right. I think now that the Spectre's getting some decent amount of farm. Obviously,
Silent has felt very kind of impotent on the side of Flight to Moon.
yeah, he went for that Aghanims, which we thought was not, we weren't too sure about. I would have liked to have seen an even earlier BKB, maybe before the Axe, to try and put the pressure on the Spectre. But I think now that he's gone for the Axe, he wants to make sure he can get to the late game, because if Empire do get to the late game with the Spectre, they need to make sure they've got the heroes to be able to deal with that and have that their own kind of like really tanky late game hero.
See, I kind of don't agree with that, to be honest with you. I think that when you're playing against a Spectre, when you play to go into the late game versus Spectre, you're basically playing to lose. And, you know, versus Spectre, well, what's your plan? Because you're not going to beat the Spectre late game.
Well, the thing is, it is the 2 cores against the 1 in terms of right-click damage. They do have the Wind Ranger coming through as well, and Wind Ranger can really hurt, especially when she gets something like, you know, the more items online. I can't even think, but especially the Axe. You know, that's the big one in terms of reducing the damage lost by the focus fire. And although I agree the Spectre is kind of like this ultimate late game hero, I don't think it's unbeatable. Not at all. She is very tanky and difficult to bring down, but I think they have some answers because they have 2 cores. It's just this Puck at the moment, it feels like is causing absolute chaos.
Alright then, well, we will keep an eye on how this game is going as it progresses, you know, with the pause and everything, try and get things back online. I think we're going to jump we'll keep you guys in the loop. Don't go anywhere.
Was that intentional? It looked intentional. Was that intentional? It looked intentional.
So, welcome back to the final game of Flight to Moon versus Empire. We're here for the mid-game show, kind of. Well, there's been a pause, there's been a disconnect at the hotel. Unfortunately, as you know, this internet is powered by people pedaling bikes. We make the teams do it. Unfortunately, Fly just got off the...
Here we go.
All right, great, fantastic. Okay, so we're told 3 minutes, but apparently it's more like 3 seconds. But let's get into it. So let's just refresh ourselves. We have a game where Team Empire have picked themselves up as Spectre, and they are doing quite well with it, managing to exert quite a lot more pressure than we predicted in this kind of early mid-game scenario. And Flight to Moon are really kind of struggling to find the pressure they need. However, the gyrocopter is pretty calm, and Iceberg's actually managed to find a little kill here with that power shot and sorry, with the focus fire and the shackle combo onto the Earth Spirit. Completely blows up Maposhka there.
Yeah, the puck tried to come through to pick off the Wind Ranger after, but unfortunately, Iceberg went to the right, puck went to the left down the river, and they kind of just go past each other.
Very proud of you for avoiding that horrible meme. So, silent in the middle lane and just kind of trying to, I don't know, push down a little bit. The Earth Spirit's down, maybe we can make something happen. But Flight to Moon, they're kind of, they're in an awkward position this game, I feel. Although pushing out bottom lane and mid lane at the same time would be really good for them. But comes the arc coming in behind and backed, and will run into the two heroes. Dodges the first stun, gets knocked back by the cogs, and has to try and make his way back up the hill. And now comes a hook shot. Nosferatu will be able to finish off that kill, and that's now 2 kills for Flight to Moon. 70 seconds on that puck death as well.
And this is the really big pickup for Flight to Moon. They get the gem off the puck as well. So, oh, actually, Ghost here on this Pango.
Yeah, going for that blink initiation, bouncing off the cliff and finds the next rolling boulder and finishes off with a swashbuckle. Neat kill from Ghostic and Maposhka.
Yeah, that's split pushing Leshrak gets punished completely there. Spectre just hit level 20 though. 500 health talent. You thought the health talent on DP was good. Wait till you try and play against the Spectre. This one's even better because of the dispersion damage.
That's a whole lot of health for an already very tanky hero. So we'll see how Flight to Moon are able to deal with that. Something tells me they might have a bit of difficulty, but there's the Windrunner hitting her level 20, which is another really big one. So Windrun grants invisibility, and as we all know, invisibility is invincibility. Yeah,
definitely, at least in most people's pubs anyway. I'm surprised she actually didn't go for the +1 second shackle shot cooldown, but the invis is just so useful, and especially when she knows that taking the gem off the side of Empire could prove to be a great pickup for her. And it means, the other thing it means is she can engage without the blink on the Wind Ranger, because now she has the Ags, she can kind of run in with the Wind Ranger, with the Wind Run, sorry, get the angle that she needs for the trees, and then pop somebody pretty quickly.
But that Radiance farm on Naive is really starting to pick up its pace. Of course, a much slower start than the Gyrocopter, and generally I think Spectres do tend to farm slower than Gyros. Oh, actually, the paid mail for the Ancients. Interesting.
Oh, that's fine. No reason why not to. And yeah, you're all right. The Spectre doesn't have an innate farming tool in the sense that the Gyro does with the flat cannon, so it does take a little while to come online, which is it's really important that you do pressure the Spectre, because that's when she's at her weakest. Haven't seen it this game, and Naive's doing a really good job of just farming away, getting those key items online to try and make himself that really tanky beast at the end of the game for Flight to Moon to deal with. So he's actually, I think he's going for the Manta on the Spectre next as well, which is going to be a good idea. Kind of when you get on top of somebody and you have the Manta on the Spectre, you pop it, you get the extra desolate damage on the illusions as well. Help to bring someone down, burst them down pretty quickly.
Also, there's not a whole lot of like slows or stuns to purge off though, so I always feel like a Manta this early is kind of one of these items where you want to get kind of, if it serves a secondary purpose rather than just being, and I don't really feel like it does this game. I guess you can purge off the cooldown slow, which is something.
I think it's more for the offensive purpose this game, though, because of the Destillate on the Spectre. I agree with you, normally it's because of like a silence or something along those lines, but not this game. It's a decent item on Spectre.
We'll see how it works out for her offensive capabilities, but you know, I feel like there could be better options, but who knows? Running forward onto Maposhka here on the Earth Spirit.
And here is Iceberg running through Invis with the smoke.
Here comes a cooldown. Maposhka will jump the right way, blinking away into safety. Will this TP out happen? I think it very well might. And the cogs just weren't there in time.
Yeah, not sure the cogs will hit in there either. Pretty unfortunate for them. They committed a lot into that trying to get that kill. They pop the smoke as well, and this is just more farm time for the Spectre, and they might go for the gyro here.
Yeah, Ghost Stick, he's picking it up. Will go for it, smashing through the tree line, and then turns back around on the cliff, but it does have time to get that BKB up on Silent.
Oh, the coil though.
Now, the boys want to fly, will die, but Silent's dropping low, and will actually drop as Naive comes in. Now using that map to try and get away with a shackle shot onto the Pangolier and that Spectre. Oh, yeah, we'll bring them both down. Sorry, for a second there I thought she TP'd out on the illusion, but unfortunately Naive was not able to escape that gank.
What a shackle by Iceberg though, that's crazy.
Insane. Not sure how it missed all the illusion, just went straight for the real one, but that, I mean, I guess that was more directly behind the Pangolier, and fantastic shackle shot from Iceberg. I mean, game-changing shackle shot. It
looked like an absolute disaster for Fly to Moon when Silent went down on that gyro. I was surprised Ghost didn't.
So they jump forwards on to the Windrunner, and she's just gonna. Although I say that, she pops a BKB and just turns it around. This is a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. And Maposhka just completely gets his potato smashed by Iceberg.
Oh, here comes the puck though.
Looking to clean up here, trying to find No Fear. We'll actually drop the coil, and I think the pony might struggle. Trying to just run around the trees, No Fear. How long can you bait for? Well, it's not that long.
Yeah, a bit of anti-climax there.
He just bought his Bloodstone as well. He didn't die with it on him, obviously. But yeah, that was that.
Yeah, he's going to die when he respawns.
Okay, that's a Bloodstone killer.
Every time we've seen a Bloodstone on Leshrac, it feels like they die instantly, and he can't go against the trend, can he? You know, you've got to keep it going.
No.
Maybe
it's the meta. It's the meta. It's not the trend, it's the meta.
Maybe that was his death he was supposed to get with the Bloodstone, though.
Longrata finds quite an early Aghanim Scepter to go along with his pipe and drums, so this clockwork isn't really anything to be ignored in these fights. Yeah, the Aghanim Scepter obviously going to be really nice at locking heroes down over and over again. The low cooldown's fantastic, and that Orchid pick up an Iceberg is the biggest one, though, I think. He can get on. It will definitely be coming out soon. Doing a lot of damage to Silent, gets inside these cogs. He starts wailing down, but meanwhile the Gyrocopter being caught out by Maposhka. Maposhka just trying to keep him still for his team. Will be used up into the air, but Silent's getting so very low and actually will get finished off by FN. Meanwhile, Naive does drop low to Iceberg and No Fear, who are looking for more kills. They'll find Maposhka. Can they get through the tree line to find Naive? I just don't think they can. The power shot going to scout him, but he is long gone with that, well, uninterrupted pathing through the tree lines. Yeah, great Spectral Dagger there just to get through the side of the map. It was still a one fight for Empire though. They take down the Gyrocopter, the Venge, and also the Clockwork. In return, they lose only 2 heroes, which they don't really mind losing. Yeah, every time Empire do okay in a fight and the Spectre lives, completely worth it for them, because as long as Spectre's living these fights over and over again, she's only going to get bigger, and Silence felt like he's dropped a few times in a row now where it feels like there's not much he can do, especially because of this blade mail coming out on the Spectre and just helping the Spectre really tank up against the Gyro in the front line. It really is, and I'm very surprised at how well this blade mail is working against this Gyrocopter, but he did call it. Puck now hits level 25 and gets that extra gold talent. It seems like quite an early 25, to be honest with you. 37 minutes, it's pretty decent. Yeah, he's doing a good job of split pushing lanes out though, so he's getting a lot of XP from that, and those last few one fights sort of really helped him push forward in those last few levels. He actually doesn't have the Yules on the Puck, he's gone for the Lincolns instead, so almost like that Orchid now has to be the Lincoln's block, Lincoln's remover, and then you follow it up with the shot. Hook shot doesn't quite land, but it is a 7-second cooldown, I thought, with the Aghanims. 11? I think it's 12. 12. See, Mo Farah knows. Mo Farah does know. Get that hashtag going on Twitter. Ooh. God, please do not. So they're going to push out this top lane though. Feels like Clockwork's been hanging around a lot down this around this top kind of area, trying to pick off these people that are split pushing the lane out, but not really achieving it so far. Quite a few nimble heroes here. Pango, Puck, Spectre. They all do a decent job of getting out the cogs. And Ghostic is having a pretty damn good performance on this Pangolier. I mean, he's been getting those rolling thunders off on the key heroes and being able to jump in and cause all sorts of chaos, doing a ton of damage in the team fights as well.
Yeah, now that he has the Lincolns for himself too, it's going to be very good against the shackle shot from the Wind Ranger. And all of a sudden, it's very difficult for Iceberg to find the targets that he wants.
Oh, hook shot. They find the puck here, actually. And it's going to be quite difficult for the puck to get away from this one, though that long distance, but no fear with the catch ready to go. And, well, phase shift going to save the puck for a little bit. Is able to blink out of this one, and the orb away as well. FN just surviving for such a long time, but is it long enough? Nope, another hook shot comes through from Non-Grata, and the puck gets taken out.
That's why you get the axe on the clockwork. What a split earth, though, by No Fear. That was so good.
Fantastic catch. Silent walking into a whole lot of hurt right now as all of the heroes from Empire just mash him in.
Yeah,
mash him in, absolutely. Destroy him.
This Haunt's going to get them an extra kill as well and always want to fly. Oh, what a
Manta dodges the stun just for the style points. Wasn't really necessary, but why not? And now
two buybacks.
Yeah, really committing to this one as Iceberg just BKBs in the middle of his fight, trying to finish off his target. But meanwhile, it's actually No Fear that goes down. And Yoki's going to drop as well as Iceberg is finally able to finish off his target. Looking for more as he comes forwards here. They're lining up. They're lining up. No, they should have been ready. And now they're caught inside the call down. The hook shot it from Non-Grata. And a bit of a mistake as the heroes from Team Empire conga line themselves into an early grave.
If they hadn't have grouped up there and those two buybacks came through for Fly to Moon, that would have been absolutely amazing for Empire. They would have put themselves in such a good position. But unfortunately, now the Spectre dies, it's all worth it for Fly to Moon because it's going to secure them this Roshan kill. And with the Aegis on the gyro, it doesn't matter about the burst damage that you've been throwing at him.
I just talk about how good this 30% cooldown talent on Iceberg is right now, because he's going to have himself these power shots, these focus fires, not to mention the BKB and the Orchid, which is just insane to have those on cooldown 30% faster.
Absolutely. Who's going to pick up the cheese? It's actually Iceberg that takes the Aegis, even though Silent was the one that bought back. I'm surprised about that. I guess Iceberg's the one doing a lot of the heavy lifting at the moment, especially, you know, with these shackle shots.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Empire bought the last one on themselves a little bit, but we're going to be, you know, still the Yules like to spot it out. Yules followed up by a hook shot. The force staff is there, but Non-Grata will finish the job without too much difficulty. And now Empire, well, they were so far ahead. Well, they weren't so far ahead actually. The game's been close the whole way through.
The double damage.
Yeah, this is quick. This is very quick. Focus fire is available again. Not even needed though. And also No Fear doing a lot of work on these buildings.
Oh, there's one death on the Spectre. He's not flying back. This is going to be 2 sets of racks for Fly to Moon. They're just giving it up for free.
I think Empire are just going to have to leave it, honestly. Like, I think they just lose too much momentum if they buy back on their Spectre. That's the school of thought here, and they can't fight them with 3 heroes anyway, so what's the point?
Yeah, the main thing is that he doesn't have the Horde either. So even if he buys back, he can't get into the fight straight away with his main disruptive ability. And yeah, I think you're right. He probably would have just died again, especially with the lack of support from his team. They either have to commit all of their heroes with the buybacks there or none at all. Look at that win probability. that one fight and all the buybacks Fly to Moon before just helping so much. I am surprised Silent went for the Satanic though. He's against an AA. I thought he might have gone for something like a Skadi instead, but obviously really values that life steal still.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one myself. Would have liked to see maybe just something to help him tank up a bit. Maybe like the Skadi would have been nice, but you know.
Yeah, it's okay. Maybe even something like a Butterfly as well, but there's not too much physical damage coming out this game from Empire. Spectre does pick up the heart, so he's got no buyback now. This is pretty risky, but when you're 2 racks down, I think you have to put yourselves in that position. Yeah,
exactly. As we said, we know that Naive really doesn't want to buy back in any situation, so, you know, if he's not going to use it, why bother having it?
True. The Leshrac and the Clock both pick up their own BKBs now as well, which is going to help massively against a lot of this magical damage coming out from the Puck and the Pango. Spectre's the only really one that can touch anybody at the moment, it feels like. Unless they get a good initiation from Miposhka on this Earth Spirit.
Right to Moon. Looking for something here with this smoke. They have the initiation of Iceberg, and Non-Grata, of course, with that hook shot.
And they don't have much vision down at the moment, so they are running in pretty blind.
Goes without saying that if they catch the Spectre here, it could all be over. But do they have enough damage to attack through that heart and get the kill? Ghostic is a very good target if they can find it, but a blink away. Realizing immediately that his Lincolns is popped, but they are still giving chase, and I think Ghostic is just trying to make some time here. Shot coming forward from Non-Grata. Now we're going to use that ultimate on Ghostic just to try and roll himself away, and he does TP out, so.
Going to be fine. It's pretty unfortunate. They kind of need to lead with a blink on the Wind Ranger, but he hasn't gone for it. He's gone for these really aggressive Bloodthorn items, going for the Nullifier next as well.
Ping's coming out at top. They are interested. Interested in investing in a bit of
Poachka
all
knows,
their
though.
Bitcoin money.
He knows that because with those 2 wards that the Dire have, he knows that the Wind Ranger was heading over. FTM.
Brought down.
That's really unfortunate because Puck doesn't have a buyback. 100 seconds, and I think this is going to be the go time for Fly to Moon. They just need Iceberg to start heading over now.
This might be the point where Fly to Moon say enough's enough and try and take the final set of racks.
Here we go. Silence, such a strong beast at this point as well. With the cheese too, the Satanic, if he can survive that AA ult, all that healing coming through is going to be very difficult for Spectre to deal with, especially with the lack of burst damage that they have on their team for these really tanky heroes.
Windrunner chasing, tries to get to the power shot, can't quite put it off. Meanwhile, Ghostic jumping in with that rolling thunder. BKB up from Silent. Silent just wants to push right now. They don't have their puck. And now Iceberg trying to get the damage off. Looking in the side. Ghostic could be in a lot of trouble though. There's the ulti coming out from the Spectre though, trying to get some damage down on these heroes. The BKBs are popped. Actually, Non-Grata has a BKB of his own. Naive just can't find a target to go on right now.
Always want to fight, does go down, so do they want to carry on pushing here?
Iceberg with the Aegis comes back in the middle of the enemy base and actually is able to finish off Makosha with the final tick on that Orchid or Bloodthorn. A lot of damage output on Iceberg right now.
They have to defend their racks here though.
Barracks are getting very low. Naive coming forwards into the middle of it all, popping that BKB, and they will be able to bring down Iceberg. And Novir going down as well. They're just lining up right now. Silent is dead, and Non-Grata has no way to escape this one. Flight to Moon dropped everybody, and it's the last racks for Empire. The final dream for them.
The last stand, isn't it? What a play by Maposhka, though. He blinks in, gets a 3-man stun, 3-man silence, and with the Magnetize over the top as well, they all just collapse with the Spectre coming in on top of them. That fight was without the puck.
8,200 damage output on Naive there. I mean, without the puck and still, Spectre is completely running around that fight. And she now rises to the top of the net worth chart, and I'm sure they'll be looking to force out some buybacks here. And already, we got 2. Gyro doesn't have hits available.
Yeah, now that Spectre hits a level 25, gets the 8% dispersion damage, which is going to make him even more difficult to bring down because Iceberg, when he's focus firing him at the moment, he's taking so much damage in return, and it's really difficult for him to try and focus the Spectre down by himself.
I feel like this Spectre is almost entirely a Windrunner counterpick, perhaps. I'm not too sure, but now she goes in and look at them, they're both just melting. I mean, going down slightly quicker, but now jumping in with the hook shot. BKB's pop. They really want to kill Naive here. Naive is out of mana and swap back as well, but can they finish the job? Oh no, they managed to shackle them right together as they forced up him into the Ancient Apparition. The Spectre is down, does have buyback, AA buyback straight away. No Horde available on the Spectre, no way to get back into the fight. They will be able to fight and always want to fly, but there's a hook shot through. Can they finish off for FN? Yes, they certainly can. Puck dies again. Now they buy back. Horn is used. Naive back into this fight, trying to finish off. Can finish off Iceberg. Now, who is left on the side of Flight to Moon? There is nobody. It's just the Leshrac. It's just Non-Grata. But the Gyrocopter is back in 20 seconds.
Yeah, they just need to hold. If they let one set of racks here go, this is fine. And this is the problem with Empire's draft. They win a fight and they can't push showers quick enough. And this is their time to win.
In the moments like this is when it really, really matters. And look at them go. They just can't get anything done. They're going to be able to take, what, 1 barracks? Maybe they just keep on fighting here. Maybe they just fight through it all. No, they're going to back off.
Yeah, they can't let themselves get picked off. Oh, the Yules though from No Fear.
I mean, it's not. Oh no, then there's a Cox as well. Going to send back one and catch the other, and it's a double kill for Silent. Coming back into this game with a bang. Naive trying to run away from this one, but it is just Naive and the Pangolier back. I mean, how much can they do versus? It's 2 versus 3 right now. Is this a fight which Flight to Moon want to take?
Naive needs to show us here why Spectre's the best late game hero. Can he 2 versus 3? Here we go. I mean,
Don't forget, there is now a buyback available on the Gyrocopter as well, which is absolutely massive because he didn't have it before, he didn't have a choice before, and now he can come back into this fight twice, so...
Naive might get picked off here. But the Dire Courier goes down as well, so Naive needs to be very careful.
Naive gets picked off, they lose, there's a hook shot out, he finds him. Naive, where can you go? Silent, giving chase, Non-Grata as well. We have the puck back in
the
10
missiles.
seconds. The missiles are coming. The Yules is up. Actually, it's maybe a questionable Yules. They force him back. The crocs are there. Ghosting's rolling around, but everybody's PKB. Naive starts falling low. He's about half health now. He's got to survive. They get the swap out. Meanwhile, Ghosting has taken back Naive, though. There's nothing for him to do. 120 seconds. Naive goes down, and GG is called. Empire tap out of game number 3 as Spectra just can't quite do it.
Really, I thought they put themselves in a decent position there. They were letting the Spectre farm so much, and FTM were really struggling to pressure him, but they say, we don't care. Iceberg on this Wind Ranger, some really clutch shackle shots this game, putting the Ghostic Pango.
And no fear going down as well. They're just lining up right now. Silent is dead, and Non-Grata has no way to escape this one. Flight to Moon dropped everybody, and it's the last racks for Empire. The final dream for them.
The last stand, isn't it? What a play by Maposhka, though. He blinks in, gets a 3-man stun, 3-man silence, and with the Magnetize over the top as well, they all just collapse with the Spectre coming in on top of them. That fight was without the puck.
8,200 damage output on Naive there. I mean, without the puck and still, Spectre is completely running around that fight. And she now rises to the top of the net worth chart, and I'm sure they'll be looking to force out some buybacks here. And already, we got 2. Gyro doesn't have hits available.
Yeah, now that Spectre hits a level 25, gets the 8% dispersion damage, which is going to make him even more difficult to bring down, because Iceberg, when he's focus firing him at the moment, he's taking so much damage in return, and it's really difficult for him to try and focus the Spectre down by himself.
I feel like this Spectre is almost entirely a Windrunner counter pick, perhaps. I'm not too sure, but now she goes in, and look at them, they're both just melting. I mean, going down slightly quicker, but now jumping in with the hook shot. BKB's pop. They really want to kill Naive here. Naive is out of mana and swap back as well, but can they finish the job? Oh Oh no, they managed to shackle them right together as they forced up him into the ancient apparition. The Spectre is down, does have buyback, AA buyback straight away. No Horde available on the Spectre, no way to get back into the fight. They will be able to fight and always want to fly, but there's a hook shot through. Can they finish off for FN? Then they certainly can. Huck dies again, now they buy back. Horn is used, Naive back into this fight, trying to finish off, can finish off Iceberg. Now, who is left on the side of Flight to Moon? There is nobody. It's just the Leshrac, it's just non grata, but the gyrocopter is back in 20 seconds.
Yeah, they just need to hold. If they let one set of racks here go, this is fine. And this is the problem with Empire's draft. They win a fight and they can't push showers quick enough.
And
this is their time to win.
In the moments like this is when it really, really matters. And look at them go. They just can't get anything done. They're going to be able to take, what, one barracks? Maybe they just keep on fighting here. Maybe they just fight through it all. No, they're going to back off.
Yeah, they can't let themselves get picked off. Oh, the Yules though from No Fear.
I mean, it's not. Oh no, then there's a Cox as well. Going to send back one and catch the other. And it's a double kill for Silent. Coming back into this game with a bang. Naive trying to run away from this one, but it is just Naive and the Pangolier back. I mean, how much can they do versus? It's 2 versus 3 right now. Is this a fight which Flight to Moon want to take?
Naive needs to show us here why Spectre's the best late game hero. Can he 2 versus 3? Here we go. I mean,
Don't forget, there is now a buyback available on the gyrocopter as well, which is absolutely massive because he didn't have it before, he didn't have a choice before, and now he can come back into this fight twice. So
Naive might get picked off here. But the Dire Courier goes down as well, so Naive needs to be very careful.
Naive gets picked off, they lose. There's a hook shot out. He finds him. Naive, where can you go? Silent, giving chase. Mongrata as well. We have the puck back on 10 seconds. The missiles are coming. The Yules is up. Actually, it's maybe a questionable Yules. They force him back. The Cox are there. Ghost Stick's rolling around, but everybody's BKB. Naive starts falling low. He's about half health now. He's got to survive. They get the swap out. Meanwhile, Ghost Stick is taken back. Naive, though, there's nothing for him to do. 120 seconds. Naive goes down, and GG is called. Empire tap out of game number 3 as Spectre just can't quite do it.
I thought they put themselves in a decent position there with they were letting the Spectre farm so much, and Flight to Moon were really struggling to pressure him, but they say, we don't care. Iceberg on this Wind Ranger, some really clutch shackle shots this game, putting the Ghost Stick Pango